Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is The Rant. And today we're talking about beta testing and the current trend of we're all beta testers now. How does that even work? We'll discuss. So let's go. You thought I wasn't here, didn't you? Well, I am. Hi, I'm Jade. This is The Rant. And of course, I hope you're doing okay. Welcome to The Rant. Oh, man, this one's been troubling me for a while, and I really need to get this out. I've been stewing on this for a long time. We briefly have kind of touched over it with things that are going on in the world and with the way software companies just expect us to do all the work for them. It's a bizarre situation that we have come into, not only with subscriptions and stuff like that, but now we, like, even with things like free software, we are the product. Like, that's the way it works. We'll cover this in a second. Hello, Studio 6+1. Thank you. I got your email this morning. You rock. FPC, we'll get a bright example. Hello. We've got Forest of the Wolf, which I next am working on that song of ours. Finally. Sith, hello. Good to see you, Sith. It's been a while. It's been a while. Ali Gratilla Banana is here. Maddie Mateusz Prakowski, hello to you. G'day, everyone. Welcome. This is The Rant, where I get to sit here for an hour and rant on a topic. This one is very near and dear. So, what is a beta tester? Let's start off. Let's define what a beta tester is, because the history of beta testing, it's been around. Believe it or not, beta testing began around the 50s and 60s. Yes, I know, a lot of people don't realize that computing has been around a very long time, right? It just was never on the scale of what we have now, right? Beta testing now, software now is a completely different thing. We take for granted some of the stuff that we are able to do with software. But back in the day, things were bleeps and bloops and blops. And speaking of bops, Dave Bops is here as well. Hello, Dave. So in the early days, beta testing was done originally and still is by a lot of developers, by the developers themselves, right? So you're developing some form of software, you're going to check it. So even to this very day, of course, you're going to beta test, you're going to check your software, you're going to make sure it works, because nobody wants to release software out to paying customers that doesn't work. Or do they? Because things are changing. Hugh Caldwell, hello. Let's touch quickly before we go too far forward. How were the jammies last night? What an event the jammies were. If you missed the jammies, you should go back and watch it. I was unlucky. I was nominated for 2 jammies last night and absolutely missed out. Shattered, absolutely horrified. Gladys Worthington was there. What a dog slut she was. Laurie's Mishmosh picked up a jammy. There she is right there. Laurie's Mishmosh, the hostess with the mostest. Gary Hubbs picked up a jammy as well with Ninth Gate. And Leela picked up a jammy. Many, many fantastic winners. What a great night. It was all good until Gladys Worthington and Chris Lane Sr. was there naked with a towel. Really, I had nightmares last night. I woke up 3 times during the night with Chris Lane Sr. standing over my bed in a towel. It's over for me. I don't think I can ever recover. But there you go. The jammies were awesome. If you missed them, you can go catch them on the replay. G-May is bloody awesome. And I'm just going to say it. It was the best produced jammies I think I've ever seen. All the video looked really like HD for a change. He's really getting good with that editing software. It was really good. Gary Hubbs, g'day. Joe Glenn, Laurie's Mishmosh, hello. Welcome. But it was really well produced. I loved it. I had a great time, laughed lots, and shouldn't have drank that scotch. Gladys, you're a terrible bitch. Get back in the corner. All right. Yeah, the audience was very funny. The audience was heaps good. I'm glad I got my video in for the audience participation stuff. Yeah, go and watch it. And you know what I really liked about the jammies this year was there wasn't as much like Charlie stuff that kind of, you know how sometimes it breaks it up and you kind of go, oh, I'm lost. What's happening? But it was really well done, and it was well placed during Leela's acceptance speech that went for 35 minutes. So congratulations, Leela, on your 35-minute acceptance speech. I know Jenny. Hello, Jenny, and hello, Ron. Ron's still on the beach being attacked by pterodactyls. Anyway, let's get on to this. Let's keep talking about software. That's what we're here for. Beta testing. So beta testing has been around for a really long time, right? Software, 50s and 60s, but the developers, they create the software and they beta test it for the most part because they want to make sure it comes out and it works for people, right? And because if it doesn't work, they're the ones who are going to have to sit there and continue to work on that software. And, like, consider this as a musician. You're watching this. You're not a software developer. We've got one in here. We've got Studio 6+1. He's a software developer. Hello, Les Nagy. Think about it like this. You're a musician, right? You create a song. You put it out there. You don't want people messaging you after the songs come out going, hey, I don't know. I think the drums are a bit low in the mix. Can you fix that? You don't want to. You want to finish it and make sure it's all good. And it's the same with developers. They want to get their software out to people and move on, right? Because when you finish a song, you move on. You go, all right, that's done. It's over. I can move on to the next song. And it's the same with software development because it takes a long time and you pour your heart into this software and you release it out to the world. And it's like releasing your child out into the world and you want it to work and be successful, hopefully bring you some coin. And, you don't want to have to sit there and fix these little things because bugs are what beta testers are searching for. Bugs, problems. IBM was one of the first companies out there who actually started employing beta testers, employing people outside of the company, not necessarily the public, but people who actually have some form of knowledge about the software that is being released. So they would send this. So not only do they in-house in the software world of wherever they're working in their office or whatever, not only are they beta testing in there, but then they would start sending out to specific beta testers who would have a look. Now, don't be confused because there are two forms of testing for software, right? We've got alpha and we've got beta. Alpha is your in-house. So the alpha testing, nobody on the outside is being able to access these tools. And once it moves into the beta form, then you are sending this out to people to outside of your company that are checking this out. So alpha is tested inside the company by employees and beta is tested outside the company by a small trusted group of customers or people in the know around the same kind of software genre. These beta testers provide real world feedback. The concept of a beta tester is not what a lot of people do today as beta testers. Just put their hand up to go, me, I want a beta test. I just want to have it first before everybody else. This is because we live in a world where everything is on demand and everybody wants to have the shiny new thing right now because consumerism, yay! And like wherever you go, you look on eBay, right? And you look at, say, a MIDI keyboard. Then you go to Facebook and there's a million MIDI keyboard ads. Because they know, right? Everything's about consumerism and getting you to buy things. And Hugh and Les wants to beta test bourbon. In theory, I like it. In practice, not going to work, is it? Because the product's gone, right? And of course, Hugh admits that he is the master beta. And I've just, there you go. We've got it. Are we done? Are we? Pause and guitars, hello to you. You wankers. Appropriate. Right? So these days, there's a lot of people out there who just go, I want to beta test this thing. I want to do it. But they don't really want to beta test it. Why? Because they just want to have it before everybody else. We live in a world where everybody wants to have shit before anyone else. And then they can go on social media and go, I've already got the thing, everybody. And it's like, wow. Don't you deserve a sticker, right? I don't get it. I don't get that kind of need to, look, I've got it first. It's. I'll talk about my road with beta testing because I do beta test. Am I the best beta tester? Absolutely not, right? Because there's only so much time in a day, but I'll explain why I beta test. And there's multiple reasons, of course, to actually test the software, but we'll get to that soon. There is Tremor Bear. Hello, Tremor Bear. I hope you're doing okay. So, closed betas, right? Let's talk about closed betas. So in the 80s, closed betas were a thing. Thomas Christ, there he is. Get his name up on the screen. I love you, Thomas Christ. All right, calm down. It's only Thomas Christ. So closed betas became formal. It became an occupation. People started getting paid for this stuff, right? There are people who get paid to beta test. Right? So you can actually be a beta tester and get paid. And Microsoft and Apple were the first, one of the first companies who started paying people to do this in the 80s, right? Where they would say, hey, we have this, we have a crew of people to look after this software. We're going to fucking send this out to you. You're going to test it for us. And we're going to get some real world results. Because here's the thing, right? With anything, even as a musician, right? Because you're beta testing your music as you're making it. It's a very similar kind of thing. You're listening to the track back. Dave, bops, I've been bopped. Bop, I've been bopped. I need a bop sound, don't I?
Boom.
I've only got a boom sound. I've been bopped. Thank you, Dave, for bopping me. You're very kind. But with closed beta, so testers, right? I've lost my train of thought. You're a beta tester with your music. That's the point I was trying to say. There's Leela, the jammy winner. All right, don't blow too much smoke up her ass. She'll get too excited. Well done, Leela, the jammy winner. First time jammy winner. Probably not the last either, right? As a beta tester, as a musician, you beta test your music all the time. You listen back to it. You listen to it for EQ. You change things. You listen in the mix. You're virtually beta testing your music so when it goes live, everything sounds okay. So you're doing that. And sometimes you have close friends, don't you? Right? Where you send an unmixed track or a close to finished track out to somebody here in our community and say, hey, can you have a listen to this song and see if the mix is okay? Because you trust that person, right? You're not going to send it to somebody who's like got no ears, are you? You're not going to be like, hey, no ear guy, here's my latest song. What do you think? And they're like, it's good. I've got no ears, but I like it, right? You're not going to do that. Paul, music, what's going on? I know you're still here, mate, and it's good to see you releasing music again. I know you've been going through some stuff, but it is good to see you back making music, my dear friend. No ears, exactly, Gary. We've all got that friend with no ears, don't we? Or, just somebody who fucking has terrible taste in music. You're not going to, you know what I mean? You're not going to be like, hey, River Band, hey, what's going on? You're not going to send your music to listen to somebody who's got shit taste in music or has no idea about mixing music or, doesn't understand your music. You want people that are testing things who know what they're doing, right? So Apple began doing this. So they started using business clients, academic institutions, power users, right? People who were known through something like Apple or Microsoft. But here's the thing with betas. So a lot of betas that come out have NDAs, right? Non-disclosure agreements. And I, at the moment, am beta testing 3 apps that I have an NDA on. And I can't say anything. I've signed a piece of paper to do that. So there's a lot of things out there where you can't do this stuff. So, the people who are like those people who chase betas just to get on and go, I'm on the beta, you're in trouble, aren't you? What are you going to do when Hulkamania walks over you? I know I said Hulkamania is a racist loser and I'm glad he's dead. But NDAs are a thing too. You got to sit on it. You got to shut up and you got to beta test and you got to try and break it. That's the thing with beta testing. The goal is not to, and some people, right, they get a beta and they just start making music with it. They started introducing it into their workflow and then, I made a song with this beta I'm on. It's like, no, you kind of meant to break it. You got to try and do everything you can to bust it and put it under pressure, put stress on it and see how it copes, right? That's the idea of beta testing. See where the breaks are, where the little things, where the button disappears or the text is doing something weird. Just stress test the thing completely. Pete Johns knows about stress testing, or with one ear, don't ask him to check your panning. Exactly. That's totally the thing not to do. I liked Hulkamania when I was a kid, but then after the sex tapes and the races, I was like, you know what? Just go away, please. Let Stone Cold run the company. Anyway, so software, remember, software's changed too. Software used to be on physical disks. Used to be on floppy disk, physical disks. So it wasn't as easy as what it is today. If you had somebody beta testing your software, you would have to physically send that out to them and they'd have to install it and do all this stuff. Now it's just in an email, test flight, bang, instant. Somebody's got it, it's on their device. So to get that out to people is a hell of a lot quicker these days. So you can get feedback a lot better, and you have the tools these days to put into the software or whatever you're using, like test flight. So when people use it, you can get stats back and actually see what device they're using. So developers have so many tools to use, but what happens is every developer ends up with a list of beta testers and maybe 3 of them send reports back. I can only think how frustrating that is. And again, I said I'm not the perfect beta tester because I don't have time all the time. I had to sign in for Line 6 and Positive Grid. I'm pretty sure they pick people out of their user forums. We don't get paid though, tight bastards. Yes, I agree with the tight bastards thing. That's another story though. Every GarageBand and Logic update video I do is like a beta test. True. And we're going to get to this. Good testers are worth their weight in gold. And, you know, some developers will pay people who they trust because they get results. And a lot of the time, because, look, we're in an economy at the moment. Let's just talk about, firstly, iOS, right? It's a pretty thankless job, iOS. Sure, the apps are so much cheaper than the desktop versions, but you've got this expectation with iOS that when you release an app, I want free updates for the next 25 years. And it's so hard for developers because iOS releases an update every year and it breaks everything. And developers have got to be on top and update and keep the app working in the App Store and rely on people to beta test each time. And you can see where we're going with this, yeah? Most of the people that beta test just do it for early access. It's 100%. And I'm kind of guilty for that too, but I offer to beta taste of a beta taste. That's delicious. Dear, let me have a coffee. Slow down. Coffee will help, won't it? I offer to beta taste. Exactly. I offer developers to hopefully be able to break shit, right, and find something. And also to get a heads up on an app before it comes out, because I don't have all the fucking time in the world, right? And there's so much to learn each day and learn a new app. And if you've got a heads up, you can get to play with it, get an idea of how it works, and then break it. Then try and fuck around with it and break it. And then by the time the show comes around, I'm not sitting there freaking out that week with 3 apps I've got to learn. I've got a head start. I've got probably 7 apps at the moment that I'm currently beta testing. And I've tested the shit out of all of them, and I feel already confident that when they come out, I already know what I'm doing. So very handy for me. And here's the thing, right? And there are developers who'll know that I do this, and a lot of people don't. If something breaks, the first thing I'm going to do is come over here and swipe down and hit record screen and try and recreate the problem and get a video of it and then send that over to the developer so they can see it happening and they can understand it and then they can work on it. Just recently, Studio 6+1 here in the chat, he's got an app that's coming out. I'm beta testing it at the moment. I've kind of pulled back the last week because he's kind of pulled back on releasing an update. But we found a problem with opening it as a standalone. We're getting a black screen. And there's a lot of apps that it's actually happening to at the moment, which is an iOS 26 plus the Juice framework that is used to make these apps has a conflict with iOS 26. And the only way I can fix it is to unplug my audio interface or come over here and swipe down and change from my hub, open it, and then do this. I'll show you an example. Look at this. Let's see if I've got an app here. Like we're looking at Rob's app tomorrow, AR, not tomorrow, but this week, AR Gate. Make sure I'm, yep. So if I open it, look. Oh, now it's going to work. Are you fucking kidding me? No, it's going to crash. Watch. It's searching. It's searching. It's searching. What's happening? And it crashed. If I try it again, and this is released. This is out, right? I don't know. And I'm like, what is it? Why is it doing this? Why is this happening? When I open it as an AEV3, it's fine. But watch this. Let's swipe down, change audio to HDMI, USB, and now open the app. And it opens straight away. And then I can switch back to audio to my mini fuse. And this seems to be a bug with, I think he's using Juice on these as well too. So you're probably not going to understand any of that, what Juice is, but it's a framework, right? So there's a whole lot of frameworks, Audio Kit and all these things to make apps. So there is that. These are the little things. And you got to take screenshots of this stuff and videos and send them to developers so they understand what's going on and they can get it fixed, right? That is the whole idea of being a beta tester. So beta testing has continued on for the longest time. It's still happening now. We got Herbs, hello to you as well. The rise of public betas. So this is the thing I'm heading down with my rant today. I'm fucking public betas. The internet certainly changed everything. So companies realized they could distribute and pre-release software to thousands of people without shipping physical media. Once you're in that place, well, you can send this out to people who don't necessarily want to get paid or don't even give a fuck if they have to beta test. You can monitor the way people use software without them even really knowing. You know what I'm saying? So the .com era comes along and we moved into this world of ship early, fix later. And, oh man. And let's just get to it now. Fuck. So, this began from my point of view, and you can disagree with me. This all began, the big problem, Russ, what's going on? This began with the video game industry. Now, there's a lot of pressure on the video game industry because, believe it or not, the video game industry has almost matched Hollywood with filmmaking. The budgets that are used for something like Grand Theft Auto 6 that's currently in production, we're talking millions and millions and millions of dollars to make these AAA video games. So the pressure to create games is extremely high. The staff to get these things out is extreme. There's a lot of pressure, man. There's a lot of people waiting for these games. You have magazines. Well, magazines are a thing of the past, aren't they? But online chitter chatter, YouTube channels, hyping up these things to be fucking, this is going to be the game that changes the world. And, since the internet now, you think about it before, well, let's just start with PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1. You bought a disc, right? You got it home, Spyro the Dragon. I love this game, but there's this part in it where the dragon just falls through the ground. And the whole game's fucked. And that's fucked. That's the game. It's released. There's no fucking patch. There's nothing to fix it. It's on a physical disc. You're done. It's over. Once we moved into the downloadable software, PlayStation 3, and of course desktop has been way ahead with that, with being able to download patches. So desktop gaming has been way ahead. Graphics card have always been far more powerful. So you could actually download a game on like a desktop, and if there was a huge patch, they're able to fix that, right? They're able to come in and fix that. PlayStation, Xbox, the first iterations wasn't like that. These days, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Ones, They have followed the same suit of the desktop gaming industry and the pressure to get things out. So who is actually to blame for all of this, right? Who's to blame? Like this is the thing. Is it the greed of the companies? Is it the outlandish expectations that people expect from games to be bigger, better, more fucking amazing? There's probably a bit of everything, really, because we're at the point, and of course, most people, the game that even Herbs has put in the chat, the game that everybody's going to say is the one that really stood out for this is Cyberpunk 2077, right? The hype for this game was on a level of just fucking bananas. People thought this thing was going to cure cancer or something, right? And on the day of release, it was broken to fuck. It was so unplayable. People with the highest end video cards, highest spec computers at that time were just unable to play it, right? And we are in the world exactly of day one patches, which it's fucking infuriating, right? Because AAA games cost a lot of money. And here in Australia, you think like a AAA game, what is it, like $80 in the US? Probably more now with all the bullshit like pre-orders and extra costumes and all that nonsense that comes with it. Jamie Lynn, hello to you. You're paying up $120 up to, and this, if you buy it early, you get an action figure and all this bullshit that comes with it. And then you buy the game, you get it day one, it don't fucking work. And it just makes you think, who's beta testing this? Who is it? Who? Because it just gets pushed out. Because, that game in itself, and a lot of games now get pushed back so far. Like even Grand Theft Auto 6 has been pushed back in another year. Only 2 weeks ago was pushed back. So there's a lot of pressure on all parties to get these things out. And again, the consumer wants everything to be amazing and better and life-changing, and it's the constant need for things to be bigger, more amazing than the last thing. And I want it now. Oh, what happened there? I had a little power thing there. Are we still live? That was interesting. But people want it now, tomorrow. I need it yesterday, 8 days ago. I want all the good stuff right now, 100%. Give it all to me. So there's a lot of pressure, right? That's a real thing, right? So beta testing has shifted to a world of we are now the beta testers. We are now the beta testers. We are not only paying for the privilege to have this brand new software, this game-changing thing that's going to be like better than every other thing that's came out, but for that cost, we are the ones who have to find the problems and find the breakages. And unfortunately, with each major release, and we're still just on the gaming industry right now, it seems with each major release, there's more and more bugs than the last major release and more problems. And a day one patch normally doesn't even fix the problems. Look at the re-release of the Grand Theft Auto series. Probably one of the biggest clusterfucks ever in the gaming industry. That's my opinion. They remastered all of the original Grand Theft Auto games, San Andreas, all of those. And they handed the development out to a team who just used AI, and it was fucked. All the writing was fucked. The textures were fucked. All the faces, nothing. It was just the worst thing. And when it dropped, they were expecting people to pay top money for these old games, apparently remastered, and they were shit. And my Lord, people were pissed off, right? Because money's tight. And hey, if I haven't signed up to be a beta tester, you shouldn't expect me to be one. I'm your customer. There's a difference between a customer and a fucking beta tester, right? Beta tester will normally get paid to do this stuff. And a customer pays you to have the shit done. What is going on? Money is tighter than a frog's ass. It's not a good situation. And unfortunately, this kind of sentiment, this kind of getting away with it, because they are, let's just say it, they're getting away with it because what's anybody going to do? Right? We are in this world of powerlessness at the moment where we just sit there and go, that's really terrible. I'm going to go on the internet and type things. But nothing comes of it. Like there's no responsibility. It's even like, we can up to the highest tier of people running the fucking world. Nothing comes of it. Donald Trump, best friends with a pedophile. Nothing comes of it. You know what I'm saying? So there's no recourse. And this just continues on. And then other companies go, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? We'll just get that out there really quickly. We'll make our money and we can start putting that money into our next project. Sounds like the AI bubble, doesn't it? Sounds like the housing bubble. Sounds like the .com bubble. Taking money from Peter to robbing money from Paul to rob. You know what I'm saying? That stupid thing. But it is true. I get the thing out, take the money from the people so we can put into the next thing that we're going to over promise and under deliver on. And then it just becomes this cycle of quality getting less and less and less and less and less each time. That's the way it works. And late stage capitalism. Here we are, and we're in it now. Man, I was just briefly on that. Did anyone see Nvidia's stocks just go? Oh man, I hate that. Sorry guys, it looks like I've spat all over my camera again. No. There we go. That's better. There we go. You like that? Nvidia stocks, boom, massive plummet. Why? We've only got 4 customers. 4 customers make up 63% of Nvidia's sales. Remember when Nvidia just made graphics cards for people? And everyone fought for the graphics cards just so they could play the games that don't work on day one. The irony of that, eh? Oh, wow, the new Nvidia card came out. Oh, wow, it's like $2,000. I better get that. I've got it. I can't wait to get this game that doesn't work. Yay. Oh, dear. What is happening? But that is the bubble that's going on, man. And you know what? Just the interesting thing about Nvidia at the moment, 63% of what's making them a billion-dollar company, all the companies that are buying their gear from Nvidia, those 4 companies, are all running at a loss. They're not making any profit. That's OpenAI, Facebook. Oh, man. We're in deep shit. And I say we because you know who foots the bill for all of this stuff. Can I tell you something? I'll tell you something funny. I know I'm getting off course here, but we'll bring it back, right? That's what these rants are about. I got an email on Friday from my bank. I don't know if Pete might have got this too. I don't know. If anyone else is in Australia, tell me if you got this. I got an email from my bank on Friday, and it was at about 9 o'clock at night, which is odd, right? Don't you agree? 9 o'clock at night, email from your bank, and then they start the email with "Dear Sir / Madam." And I'm like, well, you're my bank. Wouldn't you know who I am? I don't like the start of this email. I don't like it. But I keep reading. And I keep reading and it says, we've had a look at your account ending in this number. And I'm like, well, the number's right. Have I been hacked? What's happening? We've had a look at your account and we've realized that you're on an account that gets charged late fees and blah, blah, blah. And you shouldn't be. And I'm like, all right. And we have decided to give you some money back. What? What's happening? It's got to be spam. It's a scam email. This has got to be lies. It's lies. I don't trust you. Anyway, they went on to say, we've decided to give you $300 $330 back for all the overcharges we've charged you. Like, what? Check your account. I opened my phone. They gave me $300 back. Has anybody ever heard of the bank giving you $300 back? For fuck knows. Anyway, I've got off. So weird. So weird. No, it was real. It was fucking real. Hey, there you go. I don't know how I got onto that. How did I get onto that? Hang on. And then there was the rest of the email said, we're going to contact you very soon as well to offer you this card, which will give you no charges and stuff. So we don't have to do this all the time. All right, cool. Anyway, so that's fancy pants. That's cool. But late stage capitalism, that's where we're at here, right? So that's where I was kind of around the bubble. And software companies and all these big companies are in this place at the moment where they're putting stuff out, reaping the money, and then they're like, it can't last, right? Because you've got to, if you put this shit out there and it's not finished, then you're going to have to employ people to fucking fix this thing, and you've already been paid for it. It's kind of stupid, really. Doesn't really work. So the video game industry is utterly responsible for this thing. And now here we are. One of my biggest complaints about Apple at this time was when they went to, Chris, you're so close, but everybody's already done it. So close. Hugh was the first, and Hugh did a good job. It was a good job. Apple very much disappointed me. One of the reasons I moved to Apple was because, and hello, Chris, yes, was because of their walled garden. And I know a lot of people get fucking pissy about this and go, it's a walled garden. You know what? I kind of like the idea of having somebody like stopping really fucking nefarious shit apps getting into my fucking iPad that I paid fucking $3,000 for. I'm kind of cool with it, right? Hey, I know people like need to have this fucking fake, like, I'm being controlled. Okay. Will you be controlled when you fucking download an app that takes all your fucking data and you lose all your money? Okay, have that. That's cool. But I like to tinker with things and change the color. Okay, then buy an Android. Fuck off. Whatever. Make the choice. But it's one of the things I loved about Apple. And their software, it seemed like was very well thought out and a lot of a lot of care and a lot of beta testing would go into it, right? A lot of fucking, I wouldn't have to sit there and fucking troll through shit and find all these problems all the time because they actually cared about it. For me, when they changed their model and decided to, because look, Apple's relationship with developers is dog shit, even though they love to tell you, right, that, oh, we love our developers. And remember, at Apple keynotes, they used to, like at the start of the keynote back in the day, they'd always start with, look how many apps we've got. And this is our developer conference. And we love our developers. And we've invited them all to come to our little town hall here. And we're going to have shops with them, workshops and everything. I'm sure it was a lot better. But wouldn't you think that when you're like releasing a new operating system, the first people you'd really want to get it out to is developers? I mean, they do make the fucking apps that you rely on to sell the fucking phones because the whole thing is an app culture. So you would hope that you are working alongside with developers more than just this and inviting them to your little party, select developers, and actually like giving them the tools and giving them the betas and explaining what's changed and what they, you know what I mean? But instead, they went down the route of going, we're going to release iOS to the public. And I don't know about you guys, but the public, I'll let you in on a secret. Hang on. The public. There's a lot of fuckheads in the public. Like real fuckheads, you know the fuckheads. that you see every day and you go, that one's a fuckhead. There's a lot of fuckheads. And I don't trust the fuckheads in the public to beta test my fucking software before it gets to me. And guess what? When they first went with this public beta, I was like, oh man, this is dog shit. And it's turned out to be exactly that. We now get iOS come out and it is just full of fucking problems. Full of problems because fuckheads don't know what they're doing. I used to work at Apple, right? And I'm telling you, when you work at Apple, this is what the majority of people who come in to speak to you as an Apple genius, they come in and they go, I don't know, I just use it for texting. Why the fuck have you got a $2,000 phone for texting? I just dropped it in the toilet. Can I get a new one? The public, the consumers, the majority of people who buy iPhones just buy them for status symbols and they just text and they just scroll Facebook. That's it. Us people like creators, we're in the minority now, and you can tell that because they don't give a fuck about creators, right? And this is proof by giving the public betas to the fucking fuckheads who aren't going to test all the shit that breaks when we plug in an audio interface to the latest app, or when I load all the favorite apps that I have into Logic and none of them work anymore. Those fuckheads aren't going to test that shit. You know what they're testing? Scrolling Facebook as it gets ever filled with more and more ads and groups that you don't even follow instead of your friends, right? So I don't trust the public. And Apple made a major mistake, I believe, in that thing. But of course, here's the fucking rub. Whatever Apple kind of does, everyone bitches about it. Nah, they removed the headphone jack. The headphone jack? How am I going to plug in headphones? And then 3 years later, everybody's fucking removed the headphone jack. Everybody. Headphone jacks don't even exist anymore, right? And it's the same thing. Apple goes public betas, the biggest company in the world, the biggest tech company in the world at that time. And of course, all the tech companies go, well, hang on, video game companies are getting away with releasing software that don't work. Apple's doing it. Nobody's hassling them. They can just keep getting away with it. And so the trickle-on effect happens and we get more and more companies just going, we'll just put it out there. Who gives a shit? Like, what are people going to do? Who cares? So in essence, here's another group of people who were employed called beta testers who no longer have jobs because Joe Fuckhead is now your beta tester. Joe Fuckhead who's like scrolling Facebook and going, I just use it for texting. You know, how are we supposed to get software that works when Joe Fuckhead's our beta tester? It's a mess. And here we go. Let's talk about it. We're here now on this platform. Did I see Joe Glenn? You sexy beast. And did I see James Myers? There he is, James Myers. Hello to you. Here we are now on YouTube, right? And Joe Fuckhead is at it again. Joe Fuckhead's going to become a new meme, isn't it? What have I done? But Joe Fuckhead is with us now on YouTube. And remember this. Here's the thing, right? With YouTube, one of the things I loved about being a premium YouTube subscriber was that they would give you the option to test new features. You would get there's a little page that would be specifically for people with premium accounts. Now, of course, within the premium accounts, Joe Fuckheads are there as well too, right? Yes, Joe Fuckhead is on this. Everywhere you turn, Joe Fuckhead. Joseph P. Fuckhead Esquire, sorry. I will. Hello, Professor Boomer. Right. So YouTube used to give you this option. There was a specific page you could go to and you could go, all right, I'd like to sign up for this new feature. And they'd have like a little selection of features you could sign up for. And you could test them for maybe 2 weeks. And then you get a little email that would say, hello, your testing time is up. And you go, oh, that's a shame. I really like that thing. I look forward to when it comes out. Now, I haven't had one of those emails for so long. Do you know what they do now? They just release something in like different countries. So like, and we've seen it, right? Look at the chat, right? So you come to my chat and see everybody has @ symbols next to their name. And then you go to Pete's show after mine and nobody has @ symbols next to their names. And it's like, well, what's happening? Because Pete's in Australia with me. So wouldn't we both, if they're testing out this new thing with me and Pete, wouldn't Pete have it as well? And then you go over to Frank Terzo and he doesn't have it either. And they're just dropping shit and just whatever, because nobody gives a fuck and nobody's going to do anything. And even if you do have a complaint, guess where you're going to go to complain? The YouTube help desk. And we've all been there, haven't we? We've all been to the YouTube help desk. Hello, Robert. Yes. Well, I already wrote the problem in the text that I sent. So did you not read that? But I'll explain it again, what the problem is. Sorry, you have no idea what I'm talking about? Let me explain. Do I work here or not? Oh dear, I know what's coming. I know what's coming, Robert. You've told me you have to go away and speak to your supervisor, or you need to go and collect some information. I know what's coming. You're just going to come back and you're just going to spam me with a bunch of links of stuff I could have and have already found myself. And then you're going to close the chat and think that you've helped me. And Robert, you're just another Joe fuckhead. But that is it. That's the experience. It's terrible. And people are experiencing different things. Like last week on my creative hour, I went to do the goal and all the shit was just gone. There was no drop down boxes. And then 2 days later, it was back. Things just are breaking so much. I think YouTube are just at this point where they've got so many things that they're trying to implement and they've introduced them into so many different markets. You just can't do that, right? Listen, you need to have controlled environments. You need to have beta testers. You need to have trusted people to test these things and break them before they go out. But again, no accountability. I watched this awesome documentary the other day. It was a documentary. It was a show about cane toads. I know. Where are we going? It's my show. I'll take it where I want. No, but if you don't know anything about Australia, back in the 50s, right, we had a problem with growing sugarcane. And we had these fucking creatures that were ruining our sugarcane plantations. So what we did, because we didn't have the internet, we didn't have like a lot of science and stuff and people who, could go and source a good working idea. We weren't able to gene splice and do shit back then. We went to South America and got these things called cane toads, and we brought them into Australia, and they killed all the bugs. They killed all the bad things. But guess what else they killed? For the last fucking 70 years, what they've been killing. Everything else. They've become an absolute pest and they're spreading across Australia, right? They're fucking decimating Australia. And there's no way to stop them. You can't fucking do anything. They're out of control. But recently, the scientists here found a way to finally stop them. They've tried everything, right? They've tried setting them on fire. They've tried, and the problem is with cane toads, if you know anything about them, when a creature tries to kill them or you try and kill them, they secrete this stuff that is fucked and it just kills everything. They're a menace. It's a really bad idea introducing cane toads. But recently, scientists using gene splicing and all this stuff worked out a way to stop it, and it's actually working. And I'm getting to the point. You'll understand the point in a minute. And what they did was they took tadpoles, because there's a period of time when the tadpoles are born, because cane toads drop something like 20,000 eggs. A female drops 20,000 eggs twice a year. And think about it, right? Crazy shit. So they're just a total menace that can't be stopped. But there's a period in the tadpole's life before they grow legs and shit where they cannibalize their own eggs, and the tadpoles feast on the eggs. So what scientists did was they got into their DNA and took a massive number of tadpoles and changed their DNA so they can't grow limbs, and they stay in that state of cannibalizing their own eggs. And then they did a controlled test, a beta test, controlled tests, where they could take a section of water and put these things in there instead of just taking all these gene-spliced tadpoles and just chucking them in and going, I hope that works. Because it didn't work the first time, did it? By introducing the fucking cane toads. This is like science beta testing. And guess what? The results were in. It fucking worked. It's a good method. So they're now starting to introduce them into some of the areas where some of the worst populations of cane toads are, and it's actually starting to work, and animals are coming back. This is beta testing on a level, right, that is well thought out. And it's taken years to do this because it takes time. And luckily, there isn't a need or a hunger for cane toads, is there? Joe Fuckhead's not sitting out there going, I need the latest cane toad. No. In Queensland, where the cane toads are running rampant, I've lived there. At night, there's millions of them. They're all over the grass. You go out there with a golf club and just fucking hit them. There's nothing more satisfying than hitting a cane toad with a golf club. Let me tell you that. Or running them over. But the point is that I'm trying to make is that controlled beta testing, controlling these things and working them out before you release them can only not cause you pain. Yes, it's the way to go. So YouTube's constant rolling out experiments at this moment is fucking terrible. It's probably why numbers have dropped. People aren't getting notifications. The chat's all fucked up. Every day there seems to be a new thing because they are just throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks. And it's sticking for all the wrong reasons. So I've talked about the fake beta tester culture that is out there. So why do companies do this? We'll close on this. Why do companies do it? Testing teams cost money. You've got to pay somebody to get results. This is the biggest problem, right? People don't want to work for free. Nobody wants to fucking work for free because got to eat, don't we? We've got to eat, right? Release schedules are tight. Marketing windows are fixed. People are investing in this stuff. They're hounding you to get this shit out. So it's across the board. There's so many failures in this capitalist industry. The industry's trained now customers to tolerate broken releases. Suck it up. Deal with it. We'll get a patch out to you. Could you imagine going to buying a car, getting it home, and going, there's no engine in this? Oh, that'll be in the update. Well, now Teslas, I guess. So we're heading down that path anyway with Teslas, aren't we? Electric cars. I got it home. Yeah, oh, fuck it. Need a software update? Don't get me wrong. I agree with electric cars for the environment, all that stuff, but this is the thing that's going to come. Recall culture. Absolutely. Bugs aren't failures anymore. They're, say it with me, known issues. Remember when they used to be bugs? Now, known issues. Just because they changed the name of it, cunt, doesn't mean it's still shit. Oh, that's a bug. Because people hear the word bug and go, bug? No, known issue. We know about it. Then why didn't you fucking fix it when you put it out? Oh, that's right. Joe Fuckhead was the one testing it. This creates loss of trust for developers, and it sucks for iOS developers. The bottom of the food chain are iOS developers, the developers who get the least money. They're the developers I care about the most. That's what this channel's about. I fucking love the iOS developers, right? They create great stuff, incredible stuff. But they've got to rely on a lot of people who actually just want to have the stuff and not really make any music. There's that culture out there, you know, the people who just, again, the culture's not only iOS. It stifles creativity, right? When you get, update iOS, and then you go to make music, and we've seen it a million times. And Pete, we all say it. Don't update to the latest iOS if you're working on a current project, because it can fuck up your entire creativity. Time wasted, troubleshooting instead of creating. This is for us, right? You feel like you're paying for a full price for something that doesn't fucking work. It's dumb. It creates distrust for the developers, and it's, you know, the bigger picture. Have standards collapsed? Let's talk. The expectation of polish has eroded. I'll get a patch later, that'll be fine. Customer tolerance keeps enabling the trend, and more companies are doing it. And you know what? Normally I'll end on a high note. It's hard with this because nobody's being held accountable. This is the thing, right? It seems like the companies are just getting away with it more and more and more. And even when they do get, like, I got offered an email message last week from Facebook saying there's a class action suit against Facebook here in Australia. Would you like to sign up to be involved to get your share? Because it looks like you were involved in the data breach that happened. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that. Until I saw the paperwork they wanted me to fill out. There was like fucking 35 pages of shit. And I'm probably going to get like $2 back, if that. Not a good experience for something that they did. No accountability. But the good news is, let's end on something good. The good news is that if you're using iOS, we're pretty lucky. We're pretty lucky because we still have a lot of independent developers who really care about this stuff, and they have to care about the apps that they put out because got to fucking eat. And they're already selling apps at prices that are so ridiculously low. It's robbery because of the race to the bottom with apps. We're getting, you know, things that are available on desktop for $200 we get for like $8. And people are still, right? And the accessibility we have for developers for iOS is really good. You just have to, there's normally an email that you can hit out and you're normally going to speak to them directly, right? Even some of the bigger companies, like you think like Imaginando and stuff like that, there's still only a really small team, Nembrini and stuff like that. But you still will get help, right? They're really good. So we are lucky in that respect. The video game industry, don't know what to tell you. It's fucked. Apple doesn't seem like it's going to get better anytime soon now that Tim Cook's licking the boot. So I don't know what to tell you about that. But we are the beta testers. So enjoy your new role. And hell, if you do come across a bug, especially on iOS, reach out to the developer. There normally is an email or a web address, right? You will get you will get a result. It will get fixed. Don't go over to the App Store and leave a bad comment and say, this sucks, because that comment stays there even after they fix it. And developers are more than happy to fix things in this iOS ecosystem. I can't speak for desktop and stuff like that, but it seems like above everything else, they're kind of closer to the video game industry. But so there is a positive if you are an iOS developer, and we love our iOS developers. I mean, they are chef's kiss, some of the best developers in the world, and they make great stuff for these amazing little devices we carry around in our pockets. Awesome. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed yourself, had a laugh, feel slightly better in this dystopian world we currently live in. We got some cool stuff coming up this week. Tomorrow, let me just tell you quickly, and then we'll bounce you over to Pete. Oh, I'm really looking forward to this. This thing's on sale at the moment, and it's really, really cool. I can't even find it. Here it is. The S13 TX. I've got it right here in my hands. This is awesome. This is for the Tonex pedal and the Tonex One. My Lord, this thing makes the Tonex pedals fucking amazing. And it's on sale at the moment for 40% off until Black Friday. So I'll show you how cool this thing is tomorrow. And yeah, and we've got the Music for Life charity album coming up on Friday. Let's send you over to Pete. Thank you for hanging out. Do all the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better. We'll all rise together. Don't be a cunt. Let's urge.